Hey everyone, you're listening to Dog Days, Episode 1, presented by JC Cappers, and welcome to my first ever podcast. I am guessing that if you are listening to this, you are more than likely tailing me on Captain Page or Twitter because this is where you found it. But if not, you can follow me on Twitter at JC_Cappers or on Captain at JC-Cappers. What I do is I am currently in my fourth year running an Major League Baseball Underdog System that I created. Now this system has a set of criteria for each game, and they must meet all 4 criteria before I make the bet. After doing this for 3 seasons, playing only 1 unit a game, I decided, wow, this works. So I am going to go public with this and post my plays each morning on Twitter. And wow, the feedback has been a bit overwhelming sometimes and absolutely phenomenal. First off, I just wanted to say I appreciate all of your guys' support that you have given me. And again, like I said before, with this system, I like to place 1 unit on each bet. So we're really not risking that many units as opposed to other guys on Twitter each day. I started this season on April 23rd. I usually like to wait 2 to 3 weeks to get pitchers' arms hot and loose and such, and also get batters and hitters in a nice routine, so you don't want to start out when they're still trying to figure out their routine schedules and whatnot. So through 6/18, I have placed 349 bets with a record of 178, 168, and 3, and that's a profit of 33.26 units and an ROI of 8.44%. Now, ROI is kind of an underrated stat, would you, in sports betting, and I actually think it's one of the most important. Now, if you're not familiar, ROI stands for return on investment. And since we are currently at 8.44%, that means for every $100 you are risking, you are getting $8.44 back. So if 1 unit for you is $100, every bet you're making, you're getting $8.44 back. I think that's pretty good. Now also, when I said my record, you're probably thinking, as you're listening to this, yo, JC, how in the hell do you have 3 pushes? Well, for 2 weeks straight, we nearly had multiple blown saves every night go against us, and it was just hitting us left and right, and I was kind of getting sick and tired of it. So I kind of experimented with a little theory I had of, instead of placing 1 unit full on the money line, I would divide it into 2 bets and place half unit on the first 5 innings and then a half unit on the overall game money line. So we were still betting 1 unit per game. It was just giving us that extra insurance when we were constantly blowing saves late in the game or losing leads in the 7th and 8th inning. I did this for nearly a week, and then after I did a little more research and dug into it, I decided to just go back to my 1 unit ways, thinking over a long period of time it would probably even itself out. And also, as the famous quote goes, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And so, like I said before, I post the plays every morning around 9 to 10 a.m. Central Time on Twitter, depending on my schedule on the day. And then I also update my bio, records, and recap the plays at night, no matter how the day went. So if I go 4-0 on the day, awesome. I'll post an update about it, and I'll probably have some positive tweets with it. If I go 0-4, I throw it away, and I give up on the system. Just kidding. But I'm still going to post it. One thing you will find with me is that I strongly believe in being honest and 100% transparent. I think too many guys on Twitter are out here scamming people, looking for a quick buck, saying they're hitting 70% of their plays all the time, when if you're a smart sports bettor, you know he's not hitting 70% all the damn time. And scamming and looking fake, that's just not me, and that's not my style. So if you want 100% honesty and transparency, I am your guy. Now, a little more history into this system. Like I said before, this is the 4th year of me running this system, and actually my first year going public with it. Last year, to put this into perspective, I made 68.33 units. And last year I started it in May, so this year I started a week early. And with this system, you will find a consistent profit of 10, sometimes we peak over 20, but usually the general range we are in is 10 to 15 units per month. Now, that is nothing flashy, but you add it up over time, that's 50 to 65, 70 units a season. Now, you're not going to win this all in 2, 3 days, 1 month, whatnot, as some cappers claim. Now, if you put faith into this system and you trust it and you write it out, the numbers will forever be in your favor. Now, moving forward, I posted a poll on Twitter actually late last night, and I retweeted it this morning so guys can see it again. Because bad judgment on my part. I really posted that at a bad time when most people are normally sleeping. But with this podcast, I will continue to post my plays every morning on Twitter and recap every night like I have been doing. What this podcast will serve is I'm looking to post it daily, late mornings, early afternoons, again, depending on my schedule, because my schedule can be pretty crazy some days. And what the podcast will serve is some days I'll cover random betting topics that people have brought up to me or want to discuss further that I want to cover but don't want to cover in 10 or 12 tweets in a row. So it'll be easier to talk about. And also, the main goal of it is I will recap the previous day's games, talk about them, how they went, bad beats, whatnot. And then I'll also preview the plays we have later that afternoon, that day, and talk about that more and see what's going on in those games as well. I'd like to thank you guys for listening on Dog Days Episode 1. Again, this is the first podcast, so bear with me here. It could be a work in progress. And again, if you're not following me on Twitter, you can follow me at JC_Cappers or on Captain at JC-Cappers. Hope all of your guys' bets hit tonight. And remember, it's always a good day when you're running with the dogs.